This is Joshua Garcia bringing you the latest updates from GNN News and Information Center. The news. Senator Francis Escudero said he would be ready to declare his support for candidates for President and Vice President in the first automated polls after Holy Week. Marian Alviar has the details.
Senator Francis Escudero said he was ready to openly declare his support for candidates for President and Vice President in the coming elections. Escudero's staff members have been seen working in the campaign of Liberal Party standard bearers, Senator Benigno Noynoy Aquino III and his running mate, Senator Manuel Marojas II. But Escudero admitted he was also helping Makati City Mayor Jejo Marbinay, who is running as Vice President under the Puwersa ng Masang Pilipino Party of former President Joseph Estrada. However, Escudero said he would make an endorsement after the Holy Week. Escudero added that he could not deny his friendship with Aquino but admitted his ties with other presidential candidates. He, however, hinted that he would not support Senator Manuel Villar Jr. of the Nacionalista Party. Escudero and Senator Loren Legarda, who eventually jumped to Villar's camp, were initially being groomed as the Nationalist People's Coalition's presidential and vice presidential candidates respectively. But the tandem fizzled out in the last minute. There were talks that Escudero contemplated a run for vice president, but decided against it due to lack of funds. For GNN Newscast, Marian Alviar reporting.
After conducting an inspection, the Department of Justice on Monday said it is satisfied with the Bureau of Jail Management and Penology's trial and detention facilities for the suspects in the Maguindanao massacre. Justice Secretary Alberto Agra said they would report to the Quezon City Court that the facility at Camp Bagong Diwa in Taguig City is ready to be used as a courtroom and detention center. Agra added it will be up to the Quezon City Court to decide when to resume hearings on the case, and it is likely that all suspects charged for rebellion and murder in the massacre will be brought to the BJMP facilities in Bicutan. According to former Defense Secretary during martial law and now Senate President Juan Ponce Enrile, Filipinos will not back a military takeover. Angela Realica has the details.
Senate President Juan Ponce Enrile believes that the Filipinos won't take another military junta if the May elections fail. According to Enrile, the people have long rejected the idea of a military-controlled government like in EDSA I because of our long-standing democratic tradition. The former Defense Secretary during the Marcos rule recently said during the 24th anniversary of the People Power Revolution that the armed forces of the Philippines and the Philippine National Police could choose an acting head of the government in case of a massive failure of elections. Enrile cited that those with guns are the only authority except that they are the most organized people in the bureaucracy. Speculations of a possible military takeover arise after Presidential Deputy Spokesman Charito Planas said on March 19 that junta could take place in case of a power vacuum due to failure of elections. The law states that in case of a failure of elections, only the Vice President, Senate President, and the House are mandated to succeed the President in case of a failure of election. Enrile, whose term ends on June 30 along with President Arroyo, Vice President Noli de Castro, and House Speaker Prospero Nograles said that he would call for a joint session of Congress to pay for a new Senate President. For GNN Newscast, Angela Realica reporting.
Supreme Court spokesman Midas Marquez says the recent ruling on the case of the Chief Justice cannot justify President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo's recent appointments. April Abelio has the details.
The Malacanang Palace cannot use the recent SC ruling on the appointment of the next Chief Justice to justify its recent appointments in government offices, according to Supreme Court spokesman Midas Marquez. It is remembered that on March 17, 9 of the 15 SC justices voted in a special full court session that Arroyo could appoint justices of the High Court amid the ban on midnight appointees as stated in the Constitution. There was, however, no clear ruling on whether the exemption also applies to other posts in the judiciary and constitutional offices. Article 7, Section 15 states that 2 months before the elections, the President is not allowed to make appointments in executive posts, except if the vacancies already cause prejudice or endanger public safety. Malacanang recently made at least 15 appointments and dismissals in public offices that were only made known last week. But Malacanang defended the appointment papers were signed before March 1 and were not covered by the constitutional ban on the hiring of officials 60 days before the May 10 elections. For GNN Newscast, April Abalio reporting.
For your comments, feedbacks, or videos you want to share with us, email us at gnn_tv@mydestiny.net. Stay tuned for regular updates, up-to-the-minute news. Again, this is Joshua Garcia.